We are learning more about the 15-year-old Meigs County teenager accused of shooting and killing her father.
WBIR requested the court unseal public records in this case. We turn to 10 News reporter Lauren Davis from our newsroom to explain what happened today. Lauren?
John Robin, Evelet High is accused of shooting and killing her dad, Richard, in June while he slept. And while the 15-year-old is a minor, 10 News is reporting her name because under state law, she's accused of committing a serious violent crime. According to records, the Meigs County Sheriff's Office received a 911 call early June 10th from Evelet. She told authorities she'd shot her father in their Gunstalker Road home. Records state he'd taken away her phone and was trying to prevent her from seeing her boyfriend. She told investigators in the middle of the night she woke up angry, loaded her gun, debated for around 20 minutes, and then went into the living room and shot her father once in the head as he slept. WBIR sued for access to the juvenile court records. Under state law, petitions and court orders involving a child aged 14 and older are public if the teen is accused of first-degree murder or other violent crimes. The records have now been made public. At 6, we'll take a look inside her first court hearing. John Robin.
We will see you then, Lauren. Thank you.
Much love and respect to everyone tuning in. I don't take your time or support for granted. Thank you for being here and for standing with truth. Because only real conversations like this expose what others try to hide. Let's talk about what we just heard, because this right here, this isn't just another small-town tragedy. This is America looking at its own reflection and pretending not to see it. A 15-year-old child, a daughter, takes the life of her own father while he slept. And before she pulled that trigger, she sat for 20 minutes debating whether to end him or not. Think about that. 20 whole minutes of decision, 20 minutes of silence before destruction. Now, when we look at the environment she came from, we see Confederate flags on the wall, Confederate patterns on the trunk, symbols of a past that's never really passed. Some folks will say it doesn't mean anything, it's just heritage. But every flag carries a spirit, and the spirit of that one has always been hate, dominance, and division. What are you planting in your home when those are the emblems hanging on your walls? When you teach hate, you reap hate. When you glorify guns, you eventually get death. This child grew up around weapons, probably around silence, control, and that culture of my way or the highway. And what happened? That same spirit she watched in her father, she carried in her hand. This is not just about a girl who lost her mind. It's about a nation that's lost its soul. They'll tell you it's about a phone, a boyfriend, teenage rebellion. But deeper than that is a sickness that runs in the soil. Guns have become idols. Violence has become language. And hearts have gone cold. And then you look at the justice system, already talking about keeping her identity quiet, protecting her privacy, sealing documents. You ever notice how mercy shows up when the face is white? Because if this had been a black child, Lord knows they'd plaster her picture across every channel, call her a monster, a menace, a product of broken homes. But now it's mental health and evaluation. You see the pattern? Every time. The same spirit that raised her is now defending her. And this is where I say America has never been healed. It just got better at hiding the wound.
Accused of shooting her father back in June.
Now,
a judge originally ordered the case and hearings to be closed because of the severity of the case. WBIR sued to make the records public. Aaron Velasquez joins us live outside the Meigs County Courthouse with more on what we learned after getting access to those documents. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning, Abby, Heather. We know that Evelet High is charged with first-degree murder. According to court documents, High was angry because her father had taken her phone away and that she says that he was trying to keep her away from her boyfriend. The documents show some of the timeline around the shooting. Authorities say that Evelet High called 911 after the shots were fired. Meigs County deputies responded to the home on Gunstalker Road near the Georgetown community. They found the father dead in his bed. According to court records, when investigators interviewed the 15-year-old, that's when she told them about her dad taking her phone. She told authorities she loaded her gun, checked on her younger brother, and then sat in her room debating her decision for about 20 minutes. Investigators say she told them it was after this that she walked into the living room where her father, Richard High, regularly slept. She then said that she shot him in the head. The judge ordered for the girl to undergo mental health testing. We are still waiting to see if the judge will decide that High will be tried either in the juvenile court system, which she's currently in, or be moved to the adult court system. We do expect High to make a court appearance this morning. We'll, of course, keep you updated both on air and online as this case continues.
Now that the court has spoken, let's talk about what really happened in that courtroom and what it means. The prosecutors are pushing for her to be tried as an adult, but the defense wants to keep her in juvenile custody. And suddenly, everyone's talking about her fragile mind, her trauma, her emotional instability. But let's be real. Since when does America care about the mental state of children who kill? Only when they fit a certain image. They say she's young. She didn't understand. She needs counseling. But if her skin was darker, that courtroom would already be calling her evil, unsalvageable, a future criminal. And you can see the hypocrisy clear as daylight. The same culture that loves to shout law and order now whispers grace and patience. The same community that waves flags of violence now hides behind words like prayer and forgiveness. They want to seal the records, keep it quiet, move on, because the truth is too ugly to face. This isn't just a family issue. It's a mirror to an entire system that feeds on double standards. The father carried a flag that stood for power and purity. Now that same power structure bends to protect the child who killed him. That's poetic justice, if you ask me. Not justice from man, but justice from above. Because every spirit of hate eventually consumes its own house. And as they read verdicts and debate her sentence, I keep thinking of one verse. A man's enemies shall be those of his own household. This was never about a phone. This was prophecy fulfilling itself in silence. So, while they keep trying to sanitize this story, we will keep telling it for what it is. A symbol of a nation that created its own violence and now pretends it can't understand the consequence. If we don't start confronting the racism that still lives behind closed doors, if we don't start teaching that love has no color, if we keep labeling trauma as rebellion, stories like this will keep repeating. And next time, it might not be a headline about Tennessee. It might be someone you know. So don't just ask how she could do it. Ask what drove her there. Ask why a father's fear of difference mattered more than his daughter's happiness. Ask how many more families will crumble under the same weight of unspoken prejudice. Because until we start having those conversations, the silence in that courtroom, that haunting silence, will never really end.